So yesterday on April 1st, 2025, April Fool's Day, it broke that Tarantino is actually going to let someone else direct his script for a follow-up to Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. We are now here on April 2nd, and the internet assures me that this is a true story. So there is some connection here that makes sense. Brad Pitt became a megastar with Seven and Fight Club, both David Fincher films. David Fincher has a production deal at Netflix, which makes some of the legalities of this a bit easier to do. We know last year that Tarantino was in pre-production to make his final 10th film called The Movie Critic and abruptly stopped. I have some videos as to theories onto why, but Tarantino wanted to step back and reflect on his life as a father before he writes and directs his final 10th film. Apparently, Brad Pitt really wanted The Movie Critic to be produced, so he and David Fincher pitched Tarantino to let Fincher make it. Apparently, what has happened as this has turned into another film in the Once Upon a Time in Hollywood universe, but it is not a direct sequel to Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. So the Movie Critic, or whatever we're going to ultimately get out of this, will be focused on Cliff Booth, the character, and it's up in the air whether Leo will be involved. If he is, it seems like he'll be a tertiary character, with the film focusing on Brad Pitt's Cliff Booth. Now, while it's been a number of years, Tarantino has in the past written a script and let another director make the film. Natural Born Killers, there's famous fallout between Oliver Stone and Tarantino over how Stone directed that film. You also have Tony Scott doing True Romance, which is amazing, and Robert Rodriguez from Dusk Till Dawn had some Tarantino writing in there as well. I'm glad Tarantino is going to let Fincher do this. If anybody could do it, it would be David Fincher, especially with his superb record with working with Brad Pitt. I do remember listening to the Video Archives podcast with Tarantino and Roger Avery, and they were discussing Fincher's Mank, which was shot in black and white, but on digital. And you could see that Tarantino was displeased with this choice. He didn't want to criticize Fincher publicly, but I'm wondering if Tarantino has said something to the kin of, you better make this on film and not digital. All very interesting news, and gives us one more piece of the puzzle of Tarantino's 10th and final film. It will not be The Movie Critic, and this story involving Cliff Booth will go to David Fincher and most likely appear on Netflix. Please like and subscribe, and let me know in the comment section what you think about this developing news. If it weren't Fincher and Tarantino didn't want to do it, who would you helm the director's chair for this film?